101R, renewing a lease with the Union Pacific Railroad for rights to use the land under the train depot. Mr. Lisenby?
Mayor, Council, Howdy Lisenby, Assistant City Manager. Thank you for the opportunity to present this evening. As many of you are aware, the train depot that's located on First Street is owned by the city, but the land underneath that building belongs to the Union Pacific Railroad. Back in 2001, the city entered into a lease for the use of that property at a cost of $1,500 for the 20-year term of that lease. That lease is set to expire in December of 2020. Union Pacific has approached the city because if they wait till 2020, they have leases all across the country that are all going to expire at the same time. So they're trying to get ahead of the ball game. So they have submitted a lease renewal that would go into effect upon the expiration of the current lease. There are some differences between the current lease and the proposed lease. This lease is now going to be an annual lease that auto renews rather than a long-term lease. And they're asking for the first lease payment would be $5,000 for the first year, and then it will renew and escalate at 3% annually. So just for our purposes now, a 10-year cost of this lease would be $57,325.
So it went from a $1,500 for a 20-year lease to $57,000 for a 10-year lease.
But if you compare it to ours, we're asking $10,000 an
I think
acre,
it's called market rate.
and they're asking $5,000 an acre, is basically what they're
The
asking.
market rate was lowered 20
How many
years ago.
acres is this?
Approximately 1.04 acres.
And they're getting back at us for the tickets.
It's the outdated tickets. Yeah.
Advisory, my bill's all mumble jumbled in here. Is everybody else's mumble jumbled?
The bottom part,
Yeah.
that's
The-
mine.
There's a
The
couple
memo
places.
that has the table, when it got converted digitally, did not convert well, so we'll address that. But another thing that's different this time around is they're interested in who we sublease to. And so that depot is currently occupied by the Chamber of Commerce, and I believe we're looking to also allow Rodeo Museum to go in there as well. And so there is a consent to sublease. Chamber has already reviewed that and is agreeable to signing it. Doesn't commit them to anything. It just formally notifies Union Pacific of who's occupying the building that's on their property.
And just
So I
jump
think you're gonna be a $10,000 lease to the chamber and.
clarification, the Rodeo Hall of Fame was kind of in the building where the chamber was,
Okay, all right.
just so you know.
All right.
They just didn't have anyone to man it and keep it open.
Yes, ma'am.
And then as traffic increased on 285 and it became way too dangerous for people to stop at the chamber, and get out of their car to go in, that's when the decision was made to move them over to the depot so that the chamber would have it open.
What about the bus stop?
I asked them that. The chamber operates the bus stop, and so the chamber, the sublease with the chamber would qualify to cover that bus stop. Union
I'm
Pacific
thinking
that
of the
we
money.
lease with Greyhound. Oh, well, if we want to have some kind of lease or rent from the chamber to occupy the building, that's a completely different subject that is at y'all's pleasure. But Union Pacific is just asking for this lease right now.
I remember how my brain works.
Money coming in, money going out.
That's right. You change. The bus station gonna be paying somebody. And where does this give a stipulation? It's an annual lease, but does it have an option? It says it would result in a 10-year cost, but where does this say?
It says it auto renews.
So,
Auto renews at a whim?
no,
Automatically?
every year, until we terminate it, it's assumed to auto renew,
What
and
is
we
this?
can renew.
Does
terminate
this
anytime.
document, I'm assuming there is one, Rod, that says either or parties will give in writing a termination of
30
a
days or
lease,
whatever.
yeah.
You should have a copy of the proposed lease. It was in the packet.
No simple lease.
Let me
shows
ask you this.
percentages, it shows amounts, but not any, oh, here it is, lease property. I didn't go far enough.
Are they open to selling the property? I'm just curious.
They don't ever sell.
I would
think
think not.
They don't ever sell.
They can donate.
If they need a tax write-off.
They need a ticket write-off right now.
There's a bunch of ticket write-offs.
Tell them we'll let go of the tickets if they give us.
Well, don't go there. Don't go there.
I'm just kidding.
Don't go there.
I think we need to solidify somewhere in here, okay, it shall provide for at least a 3-year. Alright, subdivision purchase, cancellation 30 days prior, but so all we have to do is give it 30 days notice. This is the old lease, this is the old lease. I think we need to have something a little more concrete.
Well, that's
Some kind of a concrete agreement that's. This document is the old document.
If you keep going further, you'll find the new proposed.
It starts off with a cover letter. In the new lease terms, lessee, which would be us, may terminate the lease without cause upon 30 days written notice. So we can terminate at any time with 30 days notice. But absent of our termination, it's just considered automatically renewed.
And that's under section 13 of the new.
Yeah. Oh, I see, with all the money that's in that depot, I certainly wouldn't wanna go off and get it.
So Councilman, as I'm reading it, they can only terminate it if we fail to uphold our end, which basically means we fail to pay them in appropriate time. And then we have the ability to cancel it with 30 days of notice.
Or where?
Yeah.
Look into that, to see that. Where do they go? There'd be some pros to that. Actually, what I was saying is, I really didn't realize that we had bought the depot, but it only makes sense with all the money we have put into the depot.
One would hope.
What Councilman Tellez was saying is, well, maybe we can put it on city property, but I don't know what it costs to move it.
We got a lot right across the street.
I know it's very hard sometimes to have a conversation with people at the chamber office when the trains are going by.
Yeah, there is.
I mean, it's
Well,
terrible.
Mr. Cotton and Howdy, excuse me for being using the familiar.
Okay.
I think there should be something more concrete there. Here it says, the main way I read this, all they have to do for any reason is give us 30 days notice to get out.
They terminate with cause, not without cause.
It's by default, so our failure to comply with the payments or the lease. And so that default,
The subcontract part.
right, so that default could be our failure to maintain insurance, it could be not paying them on time, it could be not keeping up with the sublease. But they have, according to this, they give us 30 days to remedy it.
It says, notwithstanding the terms of this lease set forth, lessor or lessee may terminate this lease without cause upon 30 days written notice. That's in section B, that's in paragraph B of section 13.
Well, if y'all want to, postpone action on it, and let me discuss this,
With your favorite attorney?
this.
That young lady?
She knows who I am now, eh?
As do we know her.
To make sure that we have a clause in here that clarifies that as long as we comply with what we're doing, they can't boot us out.
Especially with all the money we're putting into the back
So-
end of that building right now.
So basically, again, so I'm understanding, leaving our ability to terminate it with 30 days notice,
Yes.
but eliminating their ability to do
Right.
so without cause.
That's right.
And put some kind of time frame in there, 99 years, 10 years, whatever, you know.
I'll do that and bring it back to council, hopefully next meeting.
Entertain a motion to postpone.
Make a motion postpone, further review.
And we're open for a donation.
They have a foundation.
Did I have a second? Oh, you did, okay, sorry. I have a motion by Councilman Moon and a second by Councilman Rowland to postpone item number F8 for clarification. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Let the record show the motion carries. Item number 19-01-01, an ordinance regulating the permitted manufacturing date for manufactured homes. This will be the first reading. Ms. Fuentes.
Mayor and council, this is, the ordinance for the dates that we had, spoke about a few months ago in reference to updating the year. Remember, we had talked about the manufactured homes that were allowed were 1976, which are 43 years old, to where we can update it closer to now being the year 2000 and now, and going up. So that still makes it almost 20 years old. And just more, cause we're seeing a lot of new not new, but manufactured homes coming in that are in the older age. For the health and safety, it'd be best for us to at least better bring it a year a little closer to what we have now versus 43 years old. Everything that's already existing will stay, unless for some reason it's not in code or it's got issues with any violations as far as like our code, with our building code or our electrical code and plumbing. They'll have to either upgrade if need be, or even demolish and get a newer one. But what's already existing will stay as long as it's up to code. And we're just updating the year to bring in a newer manufactured home versus a 43-year-old manufactured home.
How far up are you moving it up?
Yes.
Starting up to 2000.
It's from 2000, so we're gonna move it to January 1st, 2000. And so anything that's
That's
brought
still
in
20 years
up
ago.
until, yeah, it's almost 20 years old. So they'll have up to February the 1st of this year to still continue with the same thing. If we pass this, then as of February